Yeah, something that most fans need to recognize is that despite Karen and Aaron, not Lord Hammer, Karen and Zach, Karen and Zach having a quote unquote 3 year relationship. I remember years ago I did a video on that being complete horse crap. Thinking back to all the lines of dialogue and whatnot, Zach and Karen, they broke up so many times. And I remember during the season 1 and 2, it was kind of a running gag in the show that the other girls, Andy, Sabrina, and Danny, they would place bets on either how quickly Zach and Karen would break up or how quickly they would get back together or how long it would last, so to speak. And when you really think about it, it puts things into perspective. They say 3 year relationship because it's like Karen's. How is Fatima getting all this stuff from Zach? You know, a house, a car, and he's leveled up. He got this money and all. How could she get that after only knowing him for a couple of weeks? But we were together for 3 years and I ain't never get none of that. But it's quality, not quantity. I mean, it's just like these people you might know where they marry their high school sweetheart. Like, hey, this couple, they've known each other since like kindergarten and they were in a relationship since like middle school. And, you know, then they got married and after a few years they broke up. Yet the guy met someone and it was like a whirlwind romance. He got married and he was happier than he ever was, like within a few months versus the years, nearly lifetime he spent with someone else. That it just happens. It just happens. And I remember when Fatima first came into the picture and you looked at how she not only treated Andy, but in her brief interactions with Danny and Sabrina, it's the fact that Fatima has pulled through for all the other women in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, most recently with Karen when she went into labor, Danny when she thought she had killed Jonah, and Fatima used her connections to look into it. If I remember correctly, Fatima contacted Madam, her cousin, to come see Andy in order to get a favor, which was calling a judge in order for her to visit Sabrina behind bars, and she was able to. So indirectly, Fatima was responsible for putting things into motion so that Andy could go see Sabrina and by extension ask Robin to get bail. So yeah, it wasn't a direct situation, but yeah, Fatima was there for Sabrina too. I mean, obviously as a favor to Andy, but still. And then when it came to Andy, I can't even list the number of times she's been there for her bougie behind, and which that makes me even more upset about the potential jealousy that's occurring next week. But yeah, what I'm saying is Fatima, so long as you're cool with her, she'll help you out. And I can't tell you how many times the women have been able to say Karen was there for them. I mean, case in point, think about the whole salon fire when they thought their girl was dead. All they could really muster was some argument about something about, remember when we ate Karen's like butter pecan ice cream and she didn't talk to us for like 3 weeks and we were beefing? I mean, I get it. In times like that, sometimes you reminisce and think of a funny story like, yeah, it's like we lost a girl. But think about that time we didn't talk for weeks over something stupid. It was trivial. But yeah, I no, if Karen up and died, I don't really know what these three women could say in terms of a nice story. And I'm not trying to crap on Karen's character, but I'm just being completely honest. Based off of what we've seen, unless they do an ass pull and just tell us these stories of how she was this and that. No, because for one, Karen and Danny never got along. These two only had like a sit down, like in what, it's season 7, right? When they had to sit down about, okay, Karen, it's time for a real talk. Sabrina, Karen is low key like a big sister to her. In a way, it's like they don't interact that much, but either way, you know, Karen does really care about her. And then when it comes to Andy, you know, they're the closest out of the group, but it's always been Karen has the I'm going to be a B word, but the person who I talk down to has to apologize to me if we are to talk again. Or you have to be on my... He's like, nobody's ever on my side. Yeah, because you're usually unruly and out of pocket. And on top of that, you got to look at it from the perspective of, if someone doesn't side with you or agree with you, if someone doesn't stand 10 toes deep and, what's the word I'm looking for? Validate her feelings, you're enemy number one. It's like, you know what? I hate this person. But Karen, I mean, I think they're pretty cool. And if you really think about it, so you siding with them now. All right, fine. I'm done with you too. So when I think about it from that perspective, yeah, these two did not have a solid relationship. It's more like Zach was a stray dog. And if memory serves, feel free to tell me. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't feel like going back to watch it, but didn't Danny introduce them? I can't recall, but it's just one of those things where I think Danny introduced Karen to Zach, and I know there was like a very, very short-lived, hey, Zach had feelings for Danny at one time, and it's like, maybe we should have gotten together instead of me and Karen. I don't know. Season 1 was weird in hindsight. Still a good season, but, when you think about a few things, it's like, oh, wow, what could have been, right? But I'm so glad that Zach and, Danny are brother, sister in terms of their sibling energy rather than, a romantic thing, just because of the fact that they bounce off each other so well. But when you think about the number of times these two have broken up and this, that, and the third, it's just that you could say a 3-year relationship all you want, but if you added up the time that they actually were a couple, I highly doubt it would equate to even a year. I mean, the number of times Zach got kicked out or he was behind bars or whatever, it's just no. So that's what made it so annoying whenever Karen tried to justify not getting over Zach. We were together for 3 years. And anytime like one of the girls would try to like bring her down to reality, how many of y'all been in a 3-year relationship, huh? So how can you tell me how I should feel? Yeah, these two did not have a 3-year relationship. It was on and off, toxic, and I don't know what. Just no. So, with that being said, I hope that if you hear any of these characters mention 3 years again, just know that it was not 3 solid years. Not consecutive. I mean, yeah, it might be 3 calendar years in terms of the on and off again, but don't sit there and think that these two were together for 3 full years. No, that is not the case at all.